In today's class, we are going to discuss about modeling principles. In software engineering, there are two classes of models can be created. So, modeling principles can be divided into two classes. Okay, first one is a requirement models, second one is design models. Coming to the first one, requirements model, this is about customer requirement. It is used to represent the customer requirement by by depicting the three different domains. This requirements models, okay, will be depicted in three domains. First one is information domain, functional domain, and a behavioral domain. So there are three domains are there in requirements model. Based on these three domains, okay, we are going to fulfill the customer requirement. Customer requirement. Coming to the second one, design models. These design models are used to represent the characteristics of a software. How we are going to represent the characteristics of a software? By drawing an architecture related to a project or system, and also creating user interface, which means it's also designing user interface, and also designing a component level details. This is purely about designing of a architecture, software architecture. And the requirements model, in the sense, here we are going to gathering the requirements related to that particular project. Clear? This is about the two classes of modeling principles. Okay, let us see in detail about requirement modeling principle. Requirements modeling principle, coming to the first principle here. The information domain, what are the three domains which we have seen in requirements modeling? This requirements modeling is in three domains. First one is information domain. Okay, it is an information domain of a problem must be represented and understand, which means whatever the customer requirement related to the particular project or particular function, you should represent that kind of requirement, and also you must understand that problem, which means if the but customer is asked for particular feature, okay, first of all you should gather the information related to that feature. You should understand that one. You need to understand what is the exactly that feature. That is called a information domain. For example, the customer, okay, is asked for add two strings. For example, if you take a C program, one C program, okay, here the feature of the requirement of a customer is addition of two strings. Addition of two strings. So you should understand what he asked for. He wants to add two strings information into a single string. That is his requirement. First, you need to understand that one. Okay. Coming to the second one. Okay, coming to the second one. Second one is a function domain. So, to add two strings and get one string, what function is going to use in your, what function is going to use in your project? That is about function domain. What this function domain will think? Okay, according to a user requirement, okay, user is asked to add two strings. Okay, so that is a user requirement. to reach that one or to fulfill that one, which kind of function you are going to use? I am going to use strcat, which means string concatenation function. Okay, so that is str1 comma str2. Suppose str1 has digital, str2 has the information of, okay, str1 has the digital word, str2 has the word is India. Okay, so how you are going to add these two words? Okay, by using a function string concatenation, I am going to add two string into a single word or single statement. And after that, if you see the third one, third domain is behavior domain. What it will do? Okay, it will perform, it will give the result. If you are using a strcat function, how it will be work, and what is the outcome of this particular strcat after performing this function? Okay, that will come under a behavior, which means the output or the result of a function, the output or the result of a strcat function, string concatenation function. Okay, if you will give the input of string 1 India, string 1 digital, string 2 is India, then it will give the output of digital India. Okay, and it will be stored in str1. So like that we should think about our project. Clear? Our requirements. Suppose if this is the problem statement, okay, this is the feature which is asked by a customer, you should understand that one. And coming to a second one, so how to solve that feature, by using which function we are going to solve that feature. Okay, and third one is, if we will use this particular kind of a function to solve that problem, how it will give the result. Okay, how that function will result as, instead of using, okay, strings also, if you will use, you may use arrays also. If you have two words, you may add, you may combine two what strings into a single string by using, by implementing arrays also. Right, so if the function will be used for strcat, which kind of output it will give, how to solve. Otherwise, if I will implement at this place by using arrays concept, how it will give the result, which one is suitable to my problem. So like that you need to estimate the functions, then after that what are the behaviors, outcomes of that functions. Okay, so here you are going to gather the requirements of a particular feature or overall project. Clear? Right. So, and this, all these three will be, okay, should be represented in a hierarchical fashion. First one is the information domain, second one is function domain, third one is behavioral domain. So one after another we are going to execute. Clear? And coming to the fifth point, the analysis task should move from essential information towards implementation details. If we want to implement some project, we need some information. Okay, related to how we are going to uh, I mean solve this kind of problem, which kind of functions we need to use here. Okay, these essential information related to your project will lead us to a implementation of that particular project. Clear? This is about requirements of a modeling project. And if we'll move to the next one, design modeling principles. Here we have some 9 principles or around 8 principles are there in design modeling principles. First one is design should be traceable to the requirements model. Okay, so we are going to design something related to a project. Which is coming from a requirements, which is coming from a requirements. We are going to, okay, design something. So which kind of a function we are going to include at that particular position? We are going to make some design. So how you are going to put a design there itself? By watching the requirements, isn't it? Okay, by seeing which one we need, what are the requirements we gathered to solve that particular project or module. Okay, so by watching, by seeing those, we are going to draw, we are going to represent a design here. And coming to the second point, always consider the architecture of the system to be built. So first of all, we should take some outline architecture of the overall system. Okay, you should consider this overall architecture. You are going to implement some small part of that particular system project. While implementing that small part, so you should remember actually what is which purpose we are going to design this one, for which purpose we are doing this all the works. Is it suitable to that particular system or not? It will be fit perfectly into that particular project or not? Like that we should think once or twice while while designing something, right? So those are not suitable designs to that particular systems, okay, then waste of time, isn't it? So that's why we should take care about whatever we are okay, designing in designing things or designing constraints related to some particular function. So first of all you should think whether it is suitable to that particular architecture or particular project or not, right? That is a second principle. Coming to third principle, design of data is more important as design of processing function. Okay, first of all you should design a data. Okay, so mean it is important than processing function, which means which processing technique you are going to use to solve that particular problem, okay, is secondarily important one. First of all, what are the data, which means what are the inputs? We must put a concentrate on a inputs of that particular function, which means if you have string 1 and string 2 inputs, okay, texts, then you are going to think about a which kind of function is suited to solve that one. Okay, whether it is string concatenation or arrays concept is enough, or otherwise some other concepts we should implement to add two strings, like that you may think. But first of all you should represent the strings or the inputs whatever you have. So while designing you should concentrate on the data of a particular function. That is the important one. Then how it is going to process, how it is going to process. Okay, that is the third one. Coming to the next one, user interface design should be tuned to the needs of the end user. Okay, which means whatever the user interfaces you have created, that should be understandable by a user or client or end users. Okay, like that you should design your user interfaces templates. Okay, now everybody using some Google search engine. How we are using Google search engine? Okay, we know how to use that one. We have some familiar. There is some big what like one small search box is there. Within that, we have typed something related to that particular words. It will extract the information from the databases, and it will show us, isn't it? So like that. Okay, so like based on this we are working on that. Not only like that, now we are using we are using our phone. Okay, so whatever the apps we are using in our phones, okay, we are familiar how to use those apps, how to use those apps. Okay, each and every page we know. If we don't understand that app, okay, do we show any kind of interest to use such kind of apps? No. Okay, we are all familiar to use a WhatsApp app, isn't it? Okay, it have only simple four or five basic what functions. One is charting, okay, and it will show contact numbers, and it will show some what DP's information to the user, okay, as well as it will give some calling provision to us, and video calling, and some status provision, like that. Some each and every function we know. That's why we are happy to use each and every function of a WhatsApp. If it is difficult to us to understand or to use that particular app, okay, do we attract that? No. It is some difficult to understand, okay, or it is difficult while using that one particular app, or always it is giving some kind of errors. Okay, it will show some kind of what insecurity features, so problems to a customer, so we are not interested to use. Like that, whatever your design, okay, interfaces, so that should be understandable by a user. Like that, in such a way your design, you should design for that particular user interfaces. Whatever the background work is going on, nobody wants to know that. How the WhatsApp is maintaining, what kind of language they use to develop that particular WhatsApp. Okay, so how they are implementing, which kind of problems are facing by that WhatsApp developers or maintaining people, like that. Many complicated are there in background. We don't want to that one. Whatever the front page or windows we are using in WhatsApp, those are all should be okay, easy to us or not. You want to use, if I want to call from WhatsApp, if I'll click on that what dial symbol, okay, it will be connected to that number or not. I'm thinking about that only. I don't want to remaining things related to that particular, isn't it? So like that, you should design and design user interfaces. Next one, component level design should be functionally independent. If you are going to design component based kind of okay, projects, which means one, I mean here component based in the sense already we have seen many we have I have explained many times. If suppose there is a client and server kind of designs you need to, okay, get ready. In such a cases, client should be independent one and server should be a independent one. Client is one component, server is one component, right? So whenever we want to work with the client, it will support for all the works whichever we are doing. If it is necessary, then we are going to access the server data. If you want to extract some information from server, then that is not available in client, then we are going to what access the server. Until unless we will work in our own way. At the same time, server also, the server system is also useful for many purposes in regular works. Okay, in any case, one of the client will ask for some information. Okay, it will share that information to that client, and it is worked for. I mean, it is providing service to that client or customer in regular system way, isn't it? If that both the systems are working independently, so like that your design should be okay. If component based level of working you are developing, you are designing, okay, so each and every component should be independent one. Each and every component should be independent one, right? So like that you should put some designs. Next, components should be loosely coupled to one another and to the external environment. Same whatever we have discussed in 6th point, that is almost same. Okay, which means for example, there is a family. Assume there is a family. Okay, in that family there is a mother, father, okay, son and daughter. 4 members are there. So if how the God is made us, from our childhood onwards we are doing some works independently, self workings, and wait a moment, right? So if we will go in, I mean individually to outside, okay, son son is going to some school, daughter is going to college, father is going to some office, and mother is a homemaker, like that. So individually each and every person has their own roles, isn't it? So father is independent at office, he is doing his work, isn't it? He is so and so, he is Mr. So and so. And also son is going to school, he is he has some what attitude, some name, and some what whether he is what I mean what we call, I mean in school there is a different roles is playing by that particular person, son. And some daughter in college, she is also going to play some kinds of activities in that college. So, if these people all together went out, okay, so 4 people, mother, father, son, and daughter, 4 went out for some purpose. At that time, they'll play their roles related to that particular family only. Okay, the mother is act as a mother to both of the childs, and also father is also committed to that work only, and that both son and daughter acting as a, okay, children to that parents. Whenever they need something, okay, they are asked from the parents, and okay, they'll, I mean, they'll be happy at the time. So like that. So whatever the components we are designing, those are whenever the necessity is there. Okay. In such a cases, those components will be related if need necessity is there. Otherwise, they'll be worked independently. No need of concentrating on that particular work. Okay. And one more example I want to say here. Suppose you and your friend buy you and your friend buy two computers or two laptops. Okay, in your computer you have saved only the movies information. Your computer have 100 movies information. I mean, 100 movies, you have stored 100 movies into your computer, and your friend stored some 100 engineering books information, 100 engineering books information. So apart from that, you are working with your system for other purposes too, which means you are using YouTube and some Gmails and some what Google, whatever the work with your general computer, you are using your computer for that purpose. Okay, and your friend is also same. He has some textbooks information within his computer, and apart from that, he is using that computer for many purposes, isn't it? But whenever your friend is wants to watch a movie, okay, friend is wants to watch a movie that is available with you, then he made a request to you. Okay, please send me so and so movie, share me that movie. So accordingly, you will share that movie to your friend. He will watch that movie. Okay, if you want to, okay, read some book, whichever available with your friend computer, then you will make one request. Okay, please share that information to me, or textbook, download a textbook to me. So then he will share that information to you. So like that you are going to share your informations, okay, in between the closed ones, isn't it? Whenever you need something, whichever he has, you are requesting for that thing, and you are taking and you are using that one. Whenever he needs your information, then he will make a request, and after that you will send that. He may use that information, but independently your system will work for many purposes, and his system also will work for many other purposes. So like that, the components should be work. Okay, those are independently, they have their own tasks. Whenever the request is coming from other systems, if it is a client or if it is server, the data is available with us, we are going to share. Otherwise, okay, no need. Like that you are going to implement the components. And coming to the eighth principle, design representations should be easily understandable. So whatever the models you are going to draw, those should be understandable. And next, ninth one is, the design should be developed iteratively. So already we have seen what is the iterative concept. With each iteration, the designer should strive for a greater simplicity, which means that particular design is very simple one. Okay, it will show it's a simplicity. Then only the users showing interested to use that particular product. Okay, if anything complex is there, you should hide that complex things to support your project. hiding at the place of user interfaces. Okay, you make them simple. Like that, you should develop the designs, right? This is the design modeling principles. I'm going to stop the class here.